Welcome back to Mac Talks of Football, and this is the review video for the predictions that I made. I made for the game week 6 in League 1. Quite a fun a weekend of football. A couple of shock results, especially the Marseille one. Like I really did not see that coming. PSG getting back to winning ways. Monaco continuing their unbeaten win. Auxerre getting back to winning ways. A huge win for them. So it was quite an interesting weekend. So let's get ahead and review the weekend and my predictions as well, and we see how the teams performs. We are going to start with the first game. It was Auxerre versus Brest. It ended 3-0 win for the home side. I went for a 2-1 win for Auxerre because I thought their performances for the last couple of weeks has been very good, and I thought that they were not really getting the results that they deserved for those performances. And Brest, on the other hand, like their season has not really gone to plan. Their performances have not been really that good, and I thought that they were one of the team that Auxerre could really surprise and get the win. I thought it would be a close game, but it was nothing really like that, to be very honest with you. Auxerre were on top from the get-go. They controlled the game. They had the majority of the possession as well, and the tempo in which they played, like they really were on top of the entire game. Brest never really had control in that game. And Auxerre, they get their reward early on through. Also, they get the lead, and then 10 minutes later, Jubal converts the penalty that they got, and that basically was like the game done and dusted. 2-0 for them. But they go ahead and they seal the win at a great, a great goal by Hamata Traore, and it's a 3-0, and that was basically done. A great performance by Auxerre. They were at home as well, so the home fans got a good result for them, a great performance, as I said before. And I said in my preview as well that Auxerre have been playing really good. They have been quite unlucky to not get the results that they deserve, and they have now finally gotten a good result, and I think it is going to help their confidence a lot, because then I have next week they have a big game against Saint Etienne, who are struggling. So if Auxerre win that game as well, it is going to create a gap between them and the relegation places. Brest, on the other hand, their bad start to the season continues to get worse and worse every week. Now they have dropped down to 13th at 2 points just above the relegation zone. So it is not really looking good for Brest. And as I said, like they were never in that game. They got completely outplayed and outclassed by Auxerre. It was a great performance by Auxerre, but quite a disappointing performance for Brest. And they need to do get back to winning ways quite quickly. Need to perform better. The way they are playing, it is not really helping them. And if they don't do it quickly, I think they are going to be in trouble. 6 games gone, and you have not seen a good performance from Brest, if I'm being very honest with you. As I said, just 2 points above the relegation zone, and one bad result next weekend, I think, and it could, they could be in the relegation zone. So it is looking really bad for Brest. But Auxerre, great performance and a great win for them. The next game was PSG versus Rennes, that ended 3-1. My prediction was 3-1 as well. So I get the 3 points. I get 2 points for the first game. Like the point system is quite simple. I like 3 points if my entire prediction is right, and 2 points if the prediction is right but the score is not correct. So now after the 2 games, it's like 5 points I have already gotten. Coming on to the game for PSG, like I thought that PSG are gonna come back with a response after they dropped the points last weekend against Rams, and they were at home as well. So I knew they would want to give their fans something to be happy about, and of course, and as I said, they needed to send out a response. They were playing against a Rennes side who have been hit and miss this season. They have never really until now they have not performed to the level that you would expect from them. That the players that they have not really achieved the expectations that the fans had, or a lot of us had from them as well. As I said, quite hit and miss season, and I thought it was in a way going to be quite an easy win for PSG, and it turned out to be an easy win. Like they were really good. PSG, they were miles apart. They were so good from Rennes, especially Barcola. I mean, what a season this guy is having, as such a young player, and the way that he moves the ball on and off, it is really good. and they like it never really feels that Mbappe has left PSG with the way they are playing. As I said, Barcola at the moment, like he's been really sensational. A couple praise for him in that game, and he could have easily have 3 or 4 goals. The way that he was playing, like he was the it felt like if the Barcola's level was here and all the other players on that pitch, including the PSG players, not just the run player. I think the difference between both all of them was here. Barcola is here, and everybody was here. He was so good at that day, and as I said, he could easily have got 3 or 4 goals in that game. Such a great performance by him, and PSG get back to winning ways after dropping points there, and they go back to the top of the league. They are still undefeated. That is very good for them, and as I said, they needed a response. They got a response. Great performance, great home performance. And I think as I said, it is going to be really tough this year, but the way the PSG are playing, they're still going to be our favorites. Rennes on the other hand, it's like the 3rd defeat of the season already. They are they never were really in that game, to be very honest with you. It was such a bad performance, quite dreadful, to be very honest with you. They never really create, and as I said in my preview, that the problem with a majority of the teams in Liga is that they show too much respect to PSG. The teams that don't show respect to PSG, those are the teams that are able to go ahead and fight with them. Rams were like the best example. Were Rams last week. They never really cared about PSG that much. They went ahead and they did their job the way they wanted to play, and they got a result. Maybe they did not win, but they made sure that they don't lose themselves. They became the first team to stopped PSG from winning, and they made PSG drop points. Rennes on the other hand, like they felt like before even coming onto the pitch, they had accepted defeat. They were so lethargic. They were not really passing. The passing between them was not there. They barely controlled anything. When they did not they did not have the majority of the ball, and when they did, they kept losing it. It was really bad performance for them. As I said before, 3rd defeat of the season. They have dropped down to 10th position in the league, and it is not looking really good. They need to get back to sorry, they need to get back to winning ways. This is the last game next weekend before the international break, so they would hope that before going to the international break, they can put out a good performance for their fans, because it's not looking really good. PSG, a great win going and they are back at the top of a Liga. The next game was Lens versus Nice. I went for a 2-all draw. The game ended as a 0-0 draw, so another 2 points for me. Like I just thought that both of these teams have not really performed to the level that they could, and I thought that they would they're gonna cancel each other out in this game as well. I just don't see them. I just don't see them having that cutting edge at the moment, and that's what happened in this game. Like it was quite a boring game, to be very honest with you. I thought there were going to be goals in this game because both of these teams like to attack, and they like to create chances, and at the same time the defense is not really good as well. So I thought we are going to see a lot of goals, but it ended being completely different. Both of these teams were really poor. There were barely any chances created, meaningful chances created. Both of them hit the woodwork each. Both of them hit the woodwork once first in each half. So it was a weird game of football, to be very honest with you. Both of them had a good amount of possession. They had control in the game, but they never created that much. So I think I don't see any of them none of the teams could come, or the managers would come out and say that we deserve to get all 3 points. I think the way that the game went, I think it was quite a fair result, if I'm being very honest with you. And I think it is now getting a bit concerning, especially for Lens. They are undefeated. They are one of the 3 teams who are still undefeated, but after those first 2 wins, it have been 4 consecutive draws. So I think they need to really work out on that. They don't really have that finishing the finishing edge that you need to have in your score to go and kill the game. They don't really have that, and I think it is starting to become a problem for them. Nice on the other hand, 6 games gone, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 defeats. So you don't really know with Nice what you are going to expect. I said that in my prediction video as well. Last weekend they won 8-0 against Etienne. I thought that was a fluke win. I said that you should not like look at that game and be impressed by Nice. You should look at that and be concerned about Saint Etienne, because they have been really poor, and Nice just proved that this weekend as well, that they are not at that level. They are not really that good. You don't really know what you're gonna get from Nice. I think it was a fair result. I think if I have to look at it from outside view, I would say that Lens should be really disappointed that they dropped another 2 points, because I think Nice were at the moment they were there for the taking, and I think Lens should have done really better to get all 3 points. But I don't think that they can really complain about it, because they never really tried that much, and I think in the end it was a fair result. The next game is Ligue versus Lille. I went for a 2-1 win for Ligue, but the game ended 3-0 in Lille's favor. So this is the first game this weekend where I don't get any points. The thing is, going into the game, both the teams came in with a really bad form. Like both of them had not really gotten a win in their last 3 games. So that's what I went with. But the thing is, the performances wise, I thought Ligue had better performances as compared to Lille. So I thought they were gonna go ahead and get the result out of this game. They were playing at home as well, so I thought they would have the home fan support as well. So I thought they would just nick it at the end, but I was completely wrong. Lille was really good in that game. It was completely a one-sided game. They dominated Ligue in the entire 90 minutes. The style of play, the passing, the between the players, the movements, the chances creating, I think they were really good. They look like the Lille from the first 2 games, who won the first 2 games, and look like they were gonna challenge PSG for the title. I have said that Lille are one of my teams who I think can challenge for the title, and after the first 2 games it looked like they were on course for doing that, but their last 3 games have not really helped them, and it was very important for them to get a win here, and they did. Even though I predicted them to not win, they came here, they performed really good, and they have gotten a huge 3 points for them. That puts them back into that top half of the table. It is still early days. It's still 6 games, and the difference between the top teams and the bottom teams is not that much. But as I said, the trends are already starting to become. So you don't want to be that far off the pack at the top, so that it becomes hard for you to get back and recover from the bad start that you have. So it was very important for Lille to get the point, and I think they would be really happy that they got the point. Ligue, on the other hand, I think it's now their 4th defeats in their 4th defeats in their 5 games, 3rd in a row. So the momentum that they had after the first 3 games, it's slowly starting to get away from them. And they are now sliding towards that relegation zone. It looks like like it was expected that they were going to be in a relegation battle. A lot of us predicted them to get relegated as well, but the start was quite good. But now slowly they are sliding back into that relegation battle. I think they were nowhere in that game. They were completely outplayed and outclassed by Lille, and I think they really need to do something if they don't want to get sucked into that relegation battle. I still think they are going to have a really tough season, but they need to do something very quickly. Otherwise, it's going to end up being a very bad, it could end up being very bad for them. The next game is Monaco versus Montpellier. I went for a 3-0 Monaco win because of how good they have been. I thought it was going to be a one-sided game, seeing that Monaco came in this game undefeated, and they were joint top on the joint top with Marseille and PSG, and Montpellier on the other hand, they were really struggling, and their form was quite dreadful. They just got their first win last weekend, so I thought it was going to be quite an easy game, but it was nothing like that, to be very honest with you. It was a really close game, and I think Monaco themselves was sort of to blame for it. Like they started the game, and I think they were under pressure for some weird reason. I don't know why. They were at home, but it felt like Montpellier were the side who were at home. Monaco gave away the balls, gave away possession a lot in the first half. giving away passes, and that mistake led to Montpellier's first goal, and they got the surprise lead. And I thought it was, I don't think they deserved it, but I think the way that Monaco were playing, it felt like this was gonna happen, and that it did. But credit to Monaco, they came back and they got the equalizer quite quickly, courtesy of Balgun, the American, with a great finish, and it was a 1-1, and we went into the second half with the score, with the game tied, and that second half was really fun to watch. Both the teams really went for it. I really did not expect Montpellier to fight this way. As I said, I thought it was going to be quite an easy game and easy win for Monaco, but Montpellier gave them, went toe to toe with them. It was a really fun game to watch, quite an open game. Both teams going at it, both teams hit the woodwork. Both the keepers had quite a busy day, made good saves as well, and it looked like that it was gonna end up 1-1, and Monaco were gonna drop the points, but 93rd minute, Montpellier, they are reduced to 10 men, and Monaco took advantage of that, scoring in the 98th minute and getting those 3 points, which like it turned out to be quite crucial for them, especially as Marseille dropped points later on. So it was quite an important win for them. They are now second with PSG still undefeated, joint top at the moment. So it's looking really good for Monaco. Montpellier, on the other hand, it's like fourth defeat in the season already. They are down on 16th, and it's not looking really good for them. They need to do something quite quickly. They are still like it is quite a tough situation for Montpellier, and they need to do something quite. I thought the last weekend's win was a quite surprise win as well. I really did not think that they were gonna win, and this week I predicted them to lose, and they lost. I did not got the result right, but I got the 2 points because the prediction was correct. The next game was Toulouse versus Lyon. I went for a 2-all draw, but I did say that it was going to be quite a close game, and I did say that if any team was gonna nick it, it was going to be Lyon, and that's what happened. Like, it was quite a close game. Toulouse were at home, and they got ahead, and they got an early lead, and it felt like they were in control for majority of the game. But Lyon themselves, they got the equalizer, and it was not like and the equalizer came through and on a goal, nothing spectacular from the Lyon side, and then like it was quite a KG affair, to be very honest with you. Even after scoring those 2 goals, Toulouse had majority of the possession, but they never really did anything with that. Like, I think a total of four chances were created in that entire game, and that just shows you how bad that game was, and it was quite a boring game to watch, if I'm being very honest. Both teams cancelled each other out quite regularly, and they never really nothing really materialized into something good by either of the side. Toulouse had, as I said, majority of the possession, but they never really did anything with it, and Lyon from out of nowhere, they got the winning goal in the 95th minute. And the thing is, that was their first shot on target. That just shows you how bad that game was. Like, they never were in that game, to be very honest with you, and they just somehow came out with a win, and it was quite an important win for them. The second win of the season, and the first one in the last 3 games. That pushes them to 11th. Toulouse, on the other hand, second defeat in a row, and the third one in the last 4 games. They are down to 15th, just a point above relegation. So it was not a good day for Toulouse. I thought even though it was quite a boring game, none of them really created anything, and I don't think either of them deserve to win that game. So it was quite a bit heartbreak in a way for Toulouse to lose that game, but now that they have lost, as I said, now they're a point above relegation zone at 15th, and they've lost 3 games out of their last 4 games. So they really need to buck up and get back to winning ways. Otherwise, they could get sucked into that relegation zone. It's just still 6 games. It might feel like that it's not really a big deal, but once the form start to go down, and you are not able to get the points, you are not able to win the game, it becomes quite we always say that winning is a habit and losing is a habit. So if you start losing game, it sort of becomes a habit. So Toulouse don't really want to get into that habit, and they would hope that they can come out of it quite quickly. Lyon, a big win for them. As I said, I don't think they deserved it, but they somehow got the win, but their performances are still not there. I don't think their fans would be that happy. It has not been a good start to the season for Lyon, even though they have now, in a way, they've got into 11th, but I don't think any Lyon fan would be happy, especially considering that everybody thought they were going to be in the top 4 and in the Champions League. With the squad that they have and the money that they have spent, it has not really working out for them. But a good win for them, and they would hope that it can sort of start something for them, and it can kickstart their season, and they can start getting those points that they need. The next game was Angers versus Rams, and I went for a 3-1 win for Rams, and it ended like that as well. So 3 points for me there as well. It was quite an easy prediction to make, if I'm being very honest with you. Angers have not been really good. They have been dreadful, to be very honest with you. They are still winless in the league, and their performances have not been that good. Rams, on the other hand, they have been really good. They are at the moment one of the form teams of the season. They are undefeated in their last 5 games, including that draw against PSG last weekend, becoming the first team to stop PSG from winning and making them draw points. So they were on a very high confidence coming into this game, and they continued their good form in this game as well, getting an early lead through Nakamura. Great goal, controls the balls, and then slots it at the back of the net, and they continued attacking Angers, who were never in the game. They got outplayed by Rams, in every department. They doubled their lead around the 25th minute mark, courtesy of Nakamura's Japanese compatriot Aito. It becomes a 2-0, and after that it sort of felt like the Rams sort of pulled the brakes back, and they just controlled the game. They had majority of the possession. It never really looked like that Angers were going to take the ball away for Rams. They created a couple of good chances, but never really pushed that hard. Second half came, and it continued like it was a one-way traffic. They were, as I said, they played them out of the park, and then 75th minute they get the third goal, and that was game done and dusted. Angers, they got a goal back. They got one goal back, and it was quite a good goal as well. And there were chances where in the last 5 to 10 minutes where Angers really pushed, and it looked like they hit the woodwork once, and the Rams keeper had to make a couple of good saves, but apart from that, Angers never really threatened Rams, and it ended up being quite a comfortable win for them. Angers, this now like a 4th defeat of the season. They are still winless, bottom of the table, and it's not looking really good. Rams, on the other hand, a 3rd win in their last 4 games. Great performance, as I said, one of the form teams of the season, and now they are at a 4th position in the table, looking really good, and they would hope that it continues, and they can stay in that top 4 and try to qualify for the Champions League. Moving on to the next game, it was Nantes versus Saint Etienne, and I went for a 2-0 Nantes win. The game ended 2-2, which was quite surprising, and would not have been liked by the Nantes fan. I went for a 2-0 win for Nantes because Saint Etienne have been really dreadful. They have lost 4 out of their last 5 games, including that humiliating defeat by Saint Etienne last weekend. So not by Saint Etienne, by Nice, as Saint Etienne are the ones who got humiliated. My bad. They have been their last, as I said, 4 defeats in the last 5 games. Nantes, on the other hand, they've had quite a good start to the season, and they're looking really good. But the last couple of games have been a bit of a downer, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity for them to get back, into a winning ways and get all those 3 points. And they started the game they looked on top, and they got a great lead as well, but unfortunately for them, they were not really able to hold on to that lead, and they were not able to get the 3 points. They went 2-0 up, and after that everything went down for them. They gave away a penalty, and they conceded another goal. It becomes a 2-2. and then at the end up a player gets sent off as well. So from a great start to the day, it became a quite a bad end to the day for them, and now they have lost, in my opinion, they have lost 4 easy points in the last 2 games. They drew last weekend against Auger, against Angers, and now this weekend they have drawn against Saint Etienne, both teams who are really struggling, and both of them are the two bottom teams of the league. So I thought this is a big blow for Nons and their chances to try to get into that top four. Saint Etienne, on the other hand, even though like they did not win, I think they would consider this point as a win. And even though they are 17th, I think their confidence wise, especially after that humiliating defeat last weekend, I think this is going to be really good for them, and it is going to really help them as the season goes on, especially next weekend, because that game against Auger, it's a big game. Both of those teams need those 3 points, and I think with a performance like this against Nons, and coming back down from a 2-0 and getting a point out of that game, it is going to give them a lot of confidence, and they are gonna I think they would be on a cloud 9, if I'm being very honest with you. Nons, on the other hand, quite a disappointing day, as I said before, and in my opinion, they have really messed up here. In my opinion, those were 2 easy wins last weekend and this week as well, but I think they are at the end of the season, they are going to look at these 2 games, and they are going to say like, this is the moment where we messed up. And the final game of the weekend was Strasbourg versus Marseille, and I went for a 2-1 win for Marseille. I think this was the shock result of the weekend. Marseille came into the game second in the table, undefeated, joint top with PSG and Monaco, and they were flying really high. Strasbourg, on the other end, they came like their last 2 games World Road. I thought that they deserved to win both of those games. I thought they were the better side in both of those games, but they dropped points, and I thought this was going to be quite a close game, and it ended up being quite a close game, but the result was quite completely different than the one I had in mind. And I think a fair play to Strasbourg. They came out of the box in a full passion, full vigor. They were the team that dominated that first half, and then nobody could a question when they got the lead. I think they deserve that lead 100%. Marseille, on the other hand, I just don't know what happened in that first half. They were nowhere to be seen. I think that first half was one of the worst performances of the season till now, and I think Deserbi got to his place, because the second half was quite completely different by Marseille. It became quite an open game as Marseille tried to get that equalizer and make sure that they at least don't lose the game. A lot of chances are created by Mopai, by Rabiot, by Greenwood. Greenwood came close a couple of times, but it was just not their day. And I think Strasbourg themselves, they created a good amount of chances in the second half as well, but there was they just had to be only 1 goal in that game, and that came towards that came towards Strasbourg, and they got that huge win. The first time they have defeated Marseille in like 2 decades, in 20 years. So that's a big win for Strasbourg. A great 3 points for them, and it pushes them up into the table. And now like there's a first defeat for Marseille. They are now third at 3 points behind both PSG and Monaco, and I think they will be quite disappointed because I think this was the game. The game was there for them to win. That first half really cost them, and I think they would be really disappointed, and I think Deserbi would be really angry at their players, but now he needs to make sure that they come back next weekend and finish before going to that international break. They make sure they go into that international break with a win. So that is it from me in this video. This was my review of the League 1 weekend, Game 6 weekend, and my prediction as well. I think if my calculations are correct, I made around 14 points out of 27. If that is the case, I think that's almost a 50%. So that's a good return. I would have made to be very honest, I should have been 21 if Nons really didn't mess up, and if Marseille did not screw up their games. I think those 2 teams really let me down. Apart from that, I think other games could have gone either way, but I'm quite happy. Like 50% is quite better, especially considering that getting the results is quite tricky. So I got like 2 results accurate 100%, so I'm really glad with that. So yeah, that is it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of my prediction, what you guys thought of my review. Let me know your feelings in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. Before I go, like, I just wanted to say, like, a huge thank you to everybody who has subscribed. In the month of September I gained 80 subscribers, so it's quite a big deal for me. I thought like the target was to go till 300 subscribers, but we missed that by like 70 subscribers. So but like I'm really thankful to everybody who has subscribed till now. 80 subscribers in month of September. This is like my my third month, so I've gained a good amount of subscribers in this 1 month. I'm hoping that we can double this 80 into 160 in the month of October. So anybody who is watching it for the first time, or if you are watching consistently but have not subscribed till now, please go ahead and subscribe. And now the month of October is starting, so our target right now is to get to 400 subscribers. I think, as I said, we got 80, and if we get we double it and we get 160 in this month, we can achieve that target. So the target for the month of October is to get to 400 subscribers. So please go ahead and subscribe and help us in achieving our target. Until next time, bye bye.